Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to go through a strategy that should help you defeat Yin Tiger before completing chapter 3 if you're having some challenges with that fight. So for context, I did this right before defeating the final boss of this chapter. If you look right above my head there, I'm at level 52 and I've got 60 total sparks. So everything that I go through should be available up to this point. And if you're not aware, so this is in the Zodiac Village. I do have a video of how to get here if you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about or where this is. And then Yin Tiger is the NPC behind me there. You can go up and challenge him to a fight. Once you defeat him, you can then talk to him afterwards, which will then have the ability to unlock a third curio slot. Before we go into the fight, I'll go through my build and all of the items that I used. So starting off with my equipment, I have the Kongjin staff, as well as the Fireproof Mantle Vessel and Falcon Hermit. So I'll be using these two at the very beginning of the fight. The Falcon Hermit is a spirit that you can get about midway through chapter 3. And then I'm also using the full Pilgrim armor set. However, I do have this upgraded, so that is another thing you can do at Yin Tiger, so you can get this upgraded before the fight if you want to do that. Increases your defense and a little bit. And then for my two curios, so I've got the Cat's Eye Bead for critical hit chance, and then I'm also using the Snow Fox Brush to increase the duration of transformations. This is also acquired in chapter 3 by completing the Fox quest, and I also have a video about completing that if you need some help there. Next, for my relics, so for the first one, I'm using Keen Insight for critical hit damage, and then the other one is Whistling Wind for increasing attack after perfect dodges. And then moving on to my spark allocation, so taking a look at Foundation, I've got a couple points under Stamina just to improve my dodge ability a little bit. I've got Martial Arts, you can see I've got a variety of upgrades there, and then I've got Survival, I've got critical hit chance fully upgraded, as well as attack fully upgraded. For staff stance, just making sure I've got 20 points in there, so I can either do a 3 focus or 4 focus attack, but I've got all of the smash stance upgraded here, as well as these points you can see on the left. We will be using Immobilize, but I don't have any points in that. I have Cloud Step fully upgraded. That's going to be an important spell. And then nothing, I'm not going to be using a Pluck of Many. And then I will be using Red Tide's transformation, but I don't have any upgrades there as well. And then finally, just making sure you've got your upgrades at Schrawgs so you can see what my distribution is there. Mostly right now it's in mana, a little bit in health, and a little bit in stamina. And then also going over here and upgrading your gourd as well. So if you haven't done that or you're leaving some upgrades on the table, make sure you do those real quick. But I also have my gourd upgraded to the Medicine Master gourd, as you can see. So just making sure you get those upgrades as well. All right, so now getting into the actual fight. So the first thing that we actually want to do here is lose on purpose. And the reason for that is you'll notice in the bottom right there, I've got 3 focus built up already. So any focus that you have left over when you die in this fight will carry over back into the village. So if you go into a fight, build up 3 focus, and then die on purpose, we're going to then start this fight the next time with 3 focus all ready to go, so we can get off a heavy charge attack right at the beginning. As the fight kicks off, the first 2 things we want to do right off the bat are first, use that Fireproof Mantle Vessel to build up some focus, and then right after that, scoot up just a little bit, and then use that Falcon Hermit Spirit to send out this tornado. So the way this works is if he's in that tornado long enough, he's eventually going to freeze. So we want to kind of charge at him, be a little bit of aggressive there, just to kind of control him and make sure he stays in that tornado, as you can see I'm doing there. If he's in there long enough, you'll then get him to freeze, which allows us to do a light attack combo. And then after that, because we've already got 3 focus built up, I'm just looking for an opportunity to get that heavy charge attack off. So it may take you a couple tries to sort of get the rhythm of that, but if you do this, you'll be in a pretty good spot, as you can see here in the first part of the fight, with about 25% of his health gone. After that, he's got a variety of attacks that he does, but the primary ones I'm going to focus on are his teleportation attacks, and he's got 3 different versions of that, and you can kind of tell which one he's going to do by paying attention to his dialogue. So I'm going to refer to these as the Into the Leaves attack, the Ride with the Gale attack, and then the No Dialogue attack. Starting off with the Into the Leaves attack, so this is the one I was kind of hoping for because it's fairly easy to dodge. You can see there he said Into the Leaves, so I know it's coming. But this first attack, it's a 2 dodge, and then he teleports again for a 1 dodge attack. And then he teleports a 3rd time for a 3 dodge attack. So it's a 2, 1, 3 dodge sequence. So really, if this happens, you can kind of just stay in one place because he's going to teleport in front of you every time. So if we take a look at that again, he says Into the Leaves, so I know the attack's coming. I just kind of hang out, wait for him to teleport. So this is that first 2 dodge sequence. Then he'll appear in front of me again for the 1 dodge, and then he'll appear for the 3rd time for the 3rd dodge, 3 dodge sequence. So dodge there, dodge here, and then dodge the ground attack. Next is the Ride with the Gale attack. So you see his dialogue there. He says Ride with the Gale, and he teleports, and then he slams down right on top of you. So in this case, I just would mostly just use Cloud Step to avoid that, because after he does the slam down, then he goes into a whole sequence of teleportation attacks, and you can just kind of avoid all of those. So looking at that again, it says Ride with the Gale, then comes slamming down, and then he does a sequence of teleportation attacks. So in that case, I was just kind of defaulting to use Cloud Step, and then you can charge up another heavy attack and just kind of avoid all of those while he attacks your clone and whatnot. And then finally, there is the no dialogue attack. So what you want to watch for there is that retreating motion, which we'll look at it again, but it's fairly easy to spot once you know what to look for. But here he teleports on top of you and does kind of this grab stagger attack, which you want to avoid because it can do a lot of damage, as you can see here. So looking at that again, he doesn't say anything, but you want to watch out for this little circle around teleport move that he does. So if you see that, I use transformation, and that'll kind of avoid his grab attack that he does, and then you can start putting out damage with that. So now we're back in the original fight, and that's what he ends up doing. So he does that no dialogue attack. I go into transformation, and from here, I'm just kind of using that to eat some of the damage, get through this sequence, and also trying to get in as many hits as I can. So this is where that Snow Fox brush can kind of come in handy, as it lets this sequence last a little bit longer. So for this like sort of middle part of the fight, I'm just kind of getting as much damage as I can with Red Tides as well. Avoiding attacks as I can, but just sort of eating damage and whatnot to get through that whole sequence. As I get ready to come out of transformation, I'm going to immediately use Cloud Step because I haven't used that ability yet. So again, depending on the sequence of events, if he had done Ride with the Gale, I'd probably use Cloud Step first and then transformation. But because he did the no dialogue attack, I did transformation and then Cloud Step. So depending on the attacks that he does, you might change up the order of events there. And then if he does that leaves attack, then I just kind of try and dodge that naturally and save my abilities. But after that, you can see here I use Immobilize. So this does work with some limitations. So you don't want to hit him like with a light attack combo with this because he breaks out of it immediately. So you can kind of just use this as a cooldown period to like use a health potion, or what I do end up doing is charging up like a 2 focus attack. It doesn't last too long, but you can use it. So you can use that as an opportunity just to kind of get reset and whatnot and do what you need to do. At this point, he's got about 20-25% of his health left, so I'm really just kind of waiting for Cloud Step to refresh so I can use that one more time for a final 3 focus heavy attack. So just kind of keeping my distance, backing away, dodging attacks, using health if you need it. So there, I get my Cloud Step, and I'm going to go in for that one final hit, which should get him pretty close. So he's got a little sliver of health left, so I just go in for a couple additional hits. So this strategy seemed to work out pretty well for me, allowing me to get this fight done within Chapter 3 and unlocking that third curio slot a little bit early. So hopefully this helps. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye.